Hi guys, welcome to the Oasis Healing Temple. Thank you all for joining me today. And in today's reading, we're going to be getting some insights from your divine feminine self. So the energies that are within every one of us that represents the feminine energy. It has nothing to do with your sexuality. It's more about the energy that is feminine within. So we're going to pull some significator cards to help you choose your pile to connect to your divine feminine energies within. So we're going to ask for 3 different cards, please. Pile number 1. Pile number 2, please. And pile number 3. Get a card for pile number 3. Alright, let's see who they are. For pile number 1, we have Green Tara, the Buddha of Enlightened Action. And that is with the Rose Aura Quartz sphere. Pile number 2, we have Teresa of Avila, Our Lady of the Interior Life. And that is with green fluorite. And for pile number 3, you have Mary Magdalene, the Apostle of the Apostles. And that is with Celestial Aura Quartz. Alright, these are your pile choices for you to tap into your divine feminine energies to see what messages your feminine side wants you to know. And the timestamps will be listed in the description box below. If you need more time to meditate, just push the pause button. I will see you all at your readings. Hi, pile number 1. You chose the Green Tara, the Buddha of Enlightened Action. And with her, what she represents for the feminine is about taking action on something that is within your heart. So if there's something that you feel compelled to do, it is now time for you to move forward with an action of what it is that you're wanting, whatever you're passionate about, whatever your heart's desire is. If you have an idea or a creative project, or there's somebody that you want to talk to or connect with, or that you're feeling a connection to, it's time for you to put some kind of action in place that's moving you forward. So it's like taking a step forward. Okay, I'll read you the card. I have pulled your oracle cards ahead of time to save us some time on these readings. So we have Green Tara, the Buddha of Enlightened Action. My soul informs my every step. I do what my heart compels me to do. So it's following your heart. Let's see what else your divine feminine wants you to do. A little bit of information on Green Tara. She's like one of the first Buddhist, female Buddhist monks. She was told, a bunch of male Buddhist monks had seen her and fell in love with her compassionate heart. And they wanted to pray for her to be born in her next incarnation as a male so that she could become enlightened, right? And she said that she had no need for their prayers, that she actually would pray for them to be enlightened, because she knew that gender was an illusion, and that in love and in spirit there is no gender, right? And so and it made me giggle. So who was enlightened and who wasn't, right? So she just enlightened them on a belief system that they had in place that was about only men could be enlightened, and that's just programming. And so she awakened them to a false and illusion that they were holding on to. So that's something as well. So there may be some kind of revelation and awakening that may happen for you on something in regards to your heart space. So we're just going to dive in and see what other information comes out for you. Okay. We have boundaries. Where do you need to establish better boundaries? This is protecting the heart space. What else? Ooh, this one I'm not sure about because there's no writing. So I'm going to read from the guidebook on what this one is about. But it's card number 2, and we see this projection on a screen in front of a man. So let's see. 22. This is called the Reflections Looking Back in Hindsight card. A moral being is one who is capable of reflecting on his past actions and their motives, of approving of some and disapproving of others. I feel a connection to those monks here. So we have successes, failures, mistakes, and regrets all belong in the past and cannot be changed. Some things should not be dwelt upon, and we should move on. But both the good and the bad have value and have contributed to who and what we are now, and offer lessons to be learned for future decisions. The distance of time adds context and perspective to a nostalgic review of past events. In this scene, a man views a selection of images from his past. A retro-styled projector is loaded with images of other cards from this deck. As his expression is neutral, it's unclear whether those projected images are evoking fond memories or painful regrets. Probably like any album or catalog from the past, it will be a mixture of both. Do not dwell in the past. There may also be a tendency to overlook details and remember with emotional bias rather than accuracy. Okay, so I feel like this is some painful experiences that you've gone through in your past, and they may be coming up for review right now, or you may be dwelling on certain things that happened in your past where perhaps your heart was hurt and you had to set boundaries to protect yourself. And so there's a healing that's taking place and coming in for you at the moment. Or you're being asked to work on healing the past pain. Goddess of creation, transformation, creativity, and wholeness. Yeah, this is the healing that's coming in for you. Setting healthy boundaries to protect your heart from people who, unknowingly or knowingly hurt you and betray your heart, betray your trust. You might be having memories come up for you, memories of arguments, of the past pain, things that have hurt you. And the divine feminine is the nurturing, healing energies where you spend time nurturing yourself, taking care of yourself, tending to your wounds. And the divine masculine is there to support the feminine and help set those firm boundaries to protect the heart, so it doesn't get wounded. And in those experiences that you've been through, they have taught you lessons. They taught you how to take care of yourself, how to love yourself, how not to tolerate people treating you that way, how to set up healthy boundaries so people respect them, respect your heart, and not to take advantage of it. So you have learned through these experiences. We have telepathy, non-verbal communication, energetic pulses, and mind reading. There's communication taking place, vulnerability, open your heart and allow yourself to be tender. So maybe there's a reconciliation that can take place between you and the individual, where you open your heart and communicate the things that have hurt you and explain why it hurts you so that the person can have better understanding of your boundaries, of your needs. of the type of relationship that you'd like to have, you know? And sometimes people respond better when you come from a place of being more open and calm and having these types of hard conversations. Because if you come at somebody attacking them, more than likely, most people get on the defense and they already put their shields up and they don't listen to what you're saying. They're already trying to defend themselves and they're thinking of, you know, why they're in trouble, why you're mad, you know, and explaining their end of the story and not even listening to what you're even trying to bring forward, you know, why you're hurt. All they hear is your anger and this aggressiveness, which is you trying to set those boundaries and in a way saying that this is hurt me, but people aren't hearing that, you know. They're only hearing the aggressiveness and the anger and the rage. They're not seeing your heart. And that's because you're trying to protect it, right? So what you're being asked to do here is to come from a place of vulnerability and having the conversation with the individual, you know, and sometimes it's saying like, hey, can we have a conversation? I need to talk to you about some things. And, you know, this has been something on my mind for quite some time, and I feel like I need to talk to you about it because it's very hurtful, painful. It's not easy to say out loud and to explain how you feel and why you feel this way, you know, and allow the person to see your vulnerability. And anybody who is truly like loves you and wants to be in a relationship doesn't want you to be in pain, doesn't want you to be hurt, doesn't want you to be sad. You know, they want to have a healthy relationship with you. They don't want you to feel that way. And so they will have that conversation as well from a calm place, you know. And sometimes, yeah, you can get a little heated in your explanations because sometimes people do feel like, okay, well, I need to explain myself or whatever. But if somebody is just trying to gaslight you and do a tit for tat, well, you did this and you did this, well, it's, yes, you can address those things that they are trying to bring up, but at the moment, you're the one who's come to the partner to have the conversation, or to the friend, to the family member, to say, like, has been hurting me and this has been hurting my heart and I wanted to talk to you about it. They need to address that conversation that's being presented, because you're the person who's initiated the conversation. So it's like, I've brought this forward for us to have a conversation, so we need to address this right now. And then once this is addressed, then we can address the other grievances that we have so that we can build a bridge and move forward. But if that conversation isn't taking place, then it's time for you to make a different choice, you know? And it can be a hard choice that you have to make to say goodbye. We have crown chakra, the unlimited self. Our ancient future. And I feel like this is the connection to the ability to create that relationship that you want. And these are the relationships, the healthy relationships, the right relationships that we should be fostering and nurturing, and not these toxic, you know, empath narcissist relationships where things are just very superficial, very on the surface. We're not seeing the individual from their soul. We're only looking at somebody from their ego, you know, outside appearance, status, material self, and not the rest of the individual. You know, when you have relationships, it's not just a physical relationship. There's an emotional relationship you have with them. There's a mental relationship that you have with them, and a spiritual relationship that you have with them. So it's these many layers to a relationship than just the one. And so you want to make sure that you're aligning in all of these aspects so that you can have a healthy, connected relationship, not just one that's built on the physical appearance and attraction and, you know, those lower based animalistic type driven energies, you know. because those aren't the lasting relationships. If they're not built on a solid foundation of truth and love and honesty and integrity and connection and friendship and happiness and joy and laughter, all those things that we all look for in a relationship, it's not gonna last. You know, it doesn't have that solid foundation. We have Guardian of the Soul family. And I wanted to read these two for you guys as well. Distant Shores. These are always so beautiful. And these are Alana Fairchild. Let me see if I can get her book for you guys real quick. Should have these pulled earlier, sorry. Oh my goodness. There's and my little mermaid. Alright. 26. Okay, Guardian of the Soul family, you are being drawn to kindred spirits in this physical world by loving guardians in the spiritual world. If you feel you are leaving relationships behind, do not be afraid. The space that such courageous action creates is sometimes necessary in order to have room for new to enter your sphere of consciousness. You may also feel that somehow relationship that seemed to be held back from you is now becoming available to you. There is a great soul love calling you into more intimate connection now. It is sanctioned by the divine. It is a karmic destiny to fulfill. There is love that you are to experience in connection with particular souls, predetermined by the divine plan. If you are struggling to feel the soul purpose in your current relationships, take heart, for you are being helped by divine guardians who understand and support the sacred purpose of your relationships. Be open to current relationships healing, whether that means improved communication and enriched experiences, or the realization that you have traveled as far as you can together and know that new relationships are going to be an important aspect of your spiritual destiny being fulfilled. Trust in the divine timing of your life and open your heart to the guardians who help you with unconditional love now. The guidance of this oracle is that for you is that relationships healing is taking place and present relationships unfolding and attracting the right relationships for your future growth, and in leaving behind relationships of the past with a peaceful heart. Be gentle with your heart, beloved. All is well. What great confirmation here. So it pretty much sums up the reading, right? So this can be the healing of a relationship. This can be the letting go of an old relationship and embracing new relationships that are meant to be in your life at the moment in time. It is something that is, destined. And then we have number 18. Okay, your soul is yearning for more. The divine is all, and there are no limits to what can be experienced by the soul. The soul is so hungry for divine reunion that it will seek out whatever it is needed to get there, even if it means journeying to strange or exotic shores for expanded experiences. You may be feeling this soul impulse or an urge to travel or to try something new, or to let go of limitations of your mind and how you see your current life, and to begin to set the new in what was once familiar. To see the new in what was once familiar. In other words, seeing things from a different perspective. The art of the passionate soul is to be able to see that which is new and fresh, even in what is known, though sometimes we can use the help of a fresh vista to inspire the mind to open the heart and be ready to receive more. It's time for you to reach the shores that are calling to you now, beloved. Don't pack your bags with too much, though. You'll travel light and easy with less baggage, and you'll need plenty of space to receive that which is new. This oracle brings a message that you will benefit greatly from travel right now. You may travel through the mind, reading journals of faraway lands or times, or watching a film that will transform you. Moving your body to a different place is another way, bringing fresh energy by unplugging you for a short time from what you know to plug you into a different circuit so that you may receive different energy. So when the opportunity to travel arises for you soon, whether it be in a jaunt far away or a day in a different place, take it. Don't worry if it doesn't seem practical. The divine is so much more important, intelligent, and capable of genius than what mere logic would have us believe. Okay, so I feel like this is you moving forward in your relationship, not only with others, but also with yourself. You know, making sure that you're not betraying your heart, and that you're in a space of, you know, healing and being open, and make sure you're spending, you know, tending to your own needs as well. But yeah, there's always, you can always communicate to somebody what your needs are and your grievances, and if it's, you know, something that's meant to be, then it will stand the test of time. And if it's time to let go, then, you know, you have to come to that place in your heart and in your mind that it's time to move forward and to let the past go, let the individual go, and to open yourself up to receiving new. You know, because you have to let go of something in order to make space for the new to come in. So it's time for you to say your goodbyes and to be open to that blessing of new coming in, because it's always going to be better in the end. It's always more painful to hold on than it is to let go. All right, let me get you a few little angel cards. Whoa. So we have Francesca, and she says, what do you desire right now? Visualize it and it will come about. Negativity will block your progress. So hold your focus in your vision and your heart, what it is that you want in your relationships, and what do you want in your life. We have Danielle. I am the angel of marriage and I am assisting you right now. Okay, so ooh, I just got a tone in my ear. 242. That might be a message for you, pile number 1. Ooh, it's still ringing. This is about partnership, you know, and stability and right relationships. What do you want from this relationship? And be honest with yourself. And are you truly happy? And what would make you happy? And if communicating these, is there change? Is there action that backs up the words, you know? Or is it just empty words and they say things but they do the opposite of what they say, and their actions never match their words? They tell me they love me, but then they do these hurtful, painful things, and they never acknowledge, you know, the pain that they cause, and they never say I'm sorry. They're always saying, well, I did this and you did this, and they make excuses why it's okay to hurt you instead of changing, you know, instead of doing better and apologizing and not repeating the same thing over and over again. Because essentially what it is you're the one who's repeating. You keep allowing it to happen. You're teaching them how to treat you and what you're going to tolerate and put up with by not setting those boundaries. So just keep having the, you know, the strength and the courage to do what needs to be done, because it's for you and for them. Can we get some final messages for pile number 1, please? All right. We have Sonia. I bring you a message about your deceased loved one. I am happy, at peace, and I love you very much. Please don't worry about me. So there's a loved one, a guardian angel who's coming in to tell you that they love you very much. Don't worry about them. This may be something that you're holding on to here. A relationship from, you know, maybe regrets or things that keep going on in your mind and in your heart about this loved one that you've lost. And they're coming to tell you that it's okay to move forward, to let go. They're at peace now. They want you to be happy. That might not be for all of you, so just take what resonates for you. But this card wanted to come out during this reading. So somebody's heart can be broken over a loved one that they've lost. And then we have Teresa. Time out. You've been so busy taking care of everyone else's needs, but now it's time to stop and take care of yourself. More confirmation about the Divine Feminine here. The Divine Feminine is about resting so that we can heal. You know, it's taking that time out for ourselves to reassess the journey that we've been on, to take stock of what, you know, lessons we've learned, and to let go of the baggage, let go of the negativity, the old thoughts, the old ways of doing, the old relationships, the arguments and everything like that. What did you learn from those situations? And then let the rest fall away and take those lessons and move forward and let the past go. And it requires us to pause and to stop and be in that reflective, receptive energies, which are the Divine Feminine. If you're working all the time, if you're leaving, you know, going somewhere constantly, you're always up in your head and in your mind, that's in the masculine energy. And so being in the feminine energy means we're connected to our body, we're tuned into our emotions and how we feel, and we use our senses to navigate the energies that are presented to us. If somebody was coming with negativity or, you know, being very shady, very, you know, toxic and aggressive to us, that's a warning to put up our boundaries to protect ourselves. And it comes from being in that feeling feminine energy, being open and receptive to feelings, and open and receptive to other people, and not ignoring red flags, not ignoring how we feel when somebody hurts our feelings, and being brave enough to communicate with that individual, and then seeing how they treat you. You know, how do they treat your heart? Do they take care of it? And do they want to nurture it so that it's, you know, whole? Or do they just want to keep ripping at it and tearing at it now that you've, you know, exposed your vulnerability to them? How do they take care of your heart? And what do they do with it? And it teaches you to then use your masculine energy to set up those healthy boundaries and protect yourself, and when to take action and apply the masculine energy. So it's learning how to balance these two energies that are going to get you in a right relationship, feeling healthy and connected to yourself, but as well as being able to have that type of relationship with another individual. So there's some things that need to be let go of, pile number one, so that you can move forward. So right now, just tend to your wounds, heal yourself, let go of things that need to fall away so that you can move forward and embrace this new journey that you're about to go on. And it can be a journey of love. All right, pile number one, thank you so much for being here today. If this was your reading, put a little earth emoji in the bottom down there for green Tara to be your guide for the divine feminine energies and this message today. Alright, I'm sending y'all lots of love. Hope to see y'all next time. Y'all take care and have a blessed day. Welcome, pile number two. You chose Teresa of Avila, Our Lady of the Interior Life, with the green fluorite sphere. I'll place this over here. I trust the answers I find within me. I know that the presence of love is real. So Teresa of Veils is about mastering the inner world, connecting within and going into the heart space, which is essentially a feminine energy. So it's great that that is coming out for this reading of the Divine Feminine. And the outside world is a reflection of the inner world. And so when we connect to our heart space and go within, we learn more about ourselves and the reasons why we do things, our actions, our thoughts, our beliefs, you know, our connection to other people. And it's also that connection that we have with ourselves and with Source, with our ancestors, with our loved ones. Everything exists within our heart space. And she is a saint who taught about the journey of going within and spending time in prayer and meditation. So I feel like she is calling you to begin that journey, if you haven't already, to spend more time in that reflective prayer and silence and introspection, taking that time to connect to your inner world, your inner thoughts, that space within, where you silence the mind and you listen to the heart and what the heart speaks. That is your connection to God, to Source, Creator. And for me, I find it's easy to tune into that energy, into that space when I'm in nature or when I have a view of nature. Sometimes it could be too cold to sit outside, so you can have a window where you can be more contemplative. Okay, let's see what else we have. We have protection, call back your power, cut the cords, and soul retrieval. This is cutting the cords to the past and protecting your heart, which is so funny. We had something similar come out in pile number 1. It's definitely about a relationship that they have with an individual. Ooh, okay, these are the ones I wanted to read these to you guys. And this one's about 35. Going on a journey. Let's see. Alright guys, I just had a visitor. Okay, so we're going to read this pile from the guidebook, number 35. Solitude, what were we just saying? Loneliness and isolation. Only in quiet waters do things mirror themselves undistorted. Only in a quiet mind is adequate perception of the world found. We all need some me time. The family, the job, the groceries, the world, they can all wait. During these precious moments of escape, they do not exist. I am alone. My only companions are my own thoughts. A solitary figure sits beneath a golden domed shelter, a raised island of solitude that is separate and distant from others of its kind. Their forms are mirrored in the silent waters below. Here she embraces her solitude, which provides her with purity and clarity of thought. There are no distractions. Her book is empty. There is nothing to read or enter. Only passing thoughts are present, which are released to float gently in the breeze and drift away. While such moments can refresh and recharge our spirits, be wary that by degree or frequency, solitude does not become uncontrollable isolation. If the distance between us and others is extended too far, it may become difficult to return. Alright, so there's so much to be learned about spending time with yourself. And the divine feminine energy is about going within. It is about being receptive, being open, being receiving. It's healing, it's nurturing, it's that self-care, taking care of your needs, and going within to even understand your own needs. What is it that you need? What do you need to heal? What do you need to let go? What do you need to reassess in your life? Or is there any course correction that I need to implement in my life so I can move in a direction that's more beneficial and happy for me? And when you take that time to be in isolation, it's just removing yourself from your day-to-day life so that you can connect and tune in. And like I was saying, I love to work with Mother Nature, because when we're in nature, we're engaged in our senses, we're more present in the moment, in our surroundings. And Mother Nature is a slower frequency. So what it does is it pulls us out of our mind, which can be so rapid and fast-paced with so many different, thoughts coming in, and I don't know if people even realize this, like when you're watching TV and we call it programs, you know what I mean? It is programming your mind, but we're constantly being stimulated by images and music and colors and sounds. So it's constantly firing off those brain receptors in our mind, Think of the commercials, and even with children, things like that. It's constantly keeping your mind racing. And so when we tune out of the world of technology and out of the busyness of the world, and you come and connect to Mother Nature. It slows your energy down and it brings you into your body and out of the mind space. And I know the mind's part of the body, but really technically, physically it is, but it really isn't. It's a space out of the body, and it takes you into another realm almost. But when you're in nature, you're going within. It takes you into an inner place within your heart, in your body, and into your feeling, into your sensitivity, into the present moment. And it calms the mind down. It slows the mind down. It slows us down. And so I highly recommend spending some time in nature, because then you're in the present moment, and then you can see things with more clarity. You can see and identify things that you may not be happy with in your life, where you may be repeating patterns, where you may feel stuck, or you may feel, lost on the path, or that you've strayed too far away from, your goals, things in life that you wanted to achieve for yourself, because you've been so busy, just living life and not really being, it's just been busy, and your whole life is flying by, and time is speeding up, it's passing faster and faster, and you don't want to live in a place of regret when you look backwards. So when you can make more time to be in this place of solitude and going within and connecting, you end up slowing time down so that you can be more present and make more conscious choices for yourself and for your life. And you will find that you are in a much peaceful state of being. And it also helps you to take your power back, to retrieve parts of yourself that you may have forgotten, like that playful, fun part of you that seems to be, getting squashed out of more and more people because of how, how the world is going. We have perception beyond the veil of illusion. That's another reason when you are tuning in to that feminine energy, it also helps you to see things from a different perspective, so that you can realize that the energies that you hold in your heart, the belief systems, the structures that are in place, your programs, your patterns, things like this, are being reflected to you in the world around you. And it helps you to shift your perspective of how you see things, because you get more revelations. You can communicate with Mother Nature, you can communicate with Source, with your guides, with your ancestors, even with the animals and stuff. You become more perceptive, more tuned in, you feel more connected and in control over your life. Isn't that weird? To have more control, you have to surrender control, You have to let go, and then you realize in that letting go, there is this place of peace, of, and you learn to go with the flow of things. It's like, being dropped in the river, and somebody who's trying to, they're struggling to get up and swim to the shore and everything like that, and they're battling and they're struggling against the current, and the best thing to do is just to surrender and allow yourself to float and flow with the waters, to flow with the rivers, and be guided and taken to where you're meant to go, And that's what's going to save you in the end, is when you finally surrender and let go. And that is a feminine energy of going with the flow. Me Dr. Seuss here. All right, let's see what else. We have Jewel Within a Teardrop. Appreciation, spiritual and emotional reconnection. That is exactly what you're being asked to do from the Divine Feminine, is to go into that heart space, Allow yourself to grieve and to release things of the past, or things that you may have held on to, that you were too busy to stoic to allow yourself to feel, so that you can release it and move forward and connect more, tap into that heart space, because you will find that reconnection to something that is so sacred, you know, our emotions, the way that we feel. It is a beautiful gift, and so many people deny it, you know. And I think some of the programming is meant to turn off our feelings, you know, to desensitize us to people in pain, people struggling, you know, the killing of one another. It's all meant to make us shut off those feelings and those emotions, and to ignore our feminine side, because there's so much strength and power in somebody who is emotionally connected, you know, somebody who feels everything. That is such a beautiful gift. It is a form of telepathy. And what's the feeling one? Is it clairsentient, I believe, where you are highly sensitive. So, you know, you pick up on people's emotions. You can feel tension in a room when you walk in. And most people have these abilities, but they ignore them, or they're not sure that that's what that even is. You know, these are spiritual gifts to be able to pick up on those energies. Some people are very closed off and very self-absorbed, so they're not in tuned with the world around them or anybody else's needs or emotions and thoughts. So it's something that we should see as a blessing that we have. You know, we still have an open heart that is open and receptive and can heal, can nurture, can be compassionate and empathic for individuals who are experiencing pain and suffering, and to offer them, you know, that helping hand, that guiding light, to offer our support, you know, be that, I mean, not that you're trying to be somebody's savior, it's that compassion that you have for another soul, you know, that we should have. That's that unconditional love, and it's proof that love is real and that it exists. And especially for people who lose their faith and people who lose hope because they've gone through so much struggle, and for somebody who has an open heart, they are those reminders that they're not alone, and that they are seen, and that their struggle is seen, you know, and that they're not alone, and that they are being guided even in their struggle. A hidden gift, sadness, an ending, and a new beginning. That's what I was saying too, you know, it is a gift to be able to, even our tears, you know, our tears have a chemical that is released whenever we're crying. Think of like when you're in pain and you're hurt, you know, our bodies automatically will respond with tears, because tears are actually pain relievers. And we're taught that people who cry and express emotion this way are weak somehow, and because they are allowing themselves to feel and move the emotion through their body and release it. That is what we're supposed to do. You know, it's how we heal, by releasing our pain. and our society wants, this is why people are so sick, because they don't acknowledge their feelings. They don't release their pain. They don't allow themselves to cry and to grieve through things that are hurtful and painful, through the loss of loved ones, through the loss of a relationship, through the loss of, you know, things that make us happy. It is part of the human experience, and we deny part of our experience for some reason because it's too painful to feel it. But it's only so painful because you denied it. You know, if you allow yourself to feel the emotion, when the emotion comes, it will be released out of your body. It's not, you know, going to be this huge thing because it's been years of being repressed. You know, that's when, yeah, it's going to be a big release, because eventually what people start learning to do is all emotions get squashed. You know, they just shove them all in and pack them all in. And then the body, you know, when you think of it, emotions are water. They represent the water element in our body. Water is meant to be fluid, to flow. And when people hold on to their emotions and they don't allow them to flow, the water becomes stagnant and stale, and it starts to, you know, hold on to. My camera just cut off, so I had to restart this video. Alright, so like I was saying, when water isn't allowed to move, it becomes very stagnant, it becomes murky, very swampy, you know, from all of the debris that starts to build up in this space. And what happens is this debris starts to gather in our emotional body that sits above our physical body, and eventually over time these rotting, decaying emotions, you know, become so toxic that they eventually start seeping into the physical body, into the physical realm, because they've gathered so much density. They're now becoming more physical, and it becomes that physical pain, and people develop cancer and sickness and disease in the body because they're not allowing themselves to release their emotions, to feel their emotions and allow them to release. It's the only way to do it, and it becomes something that is just very, very hard to release once it's in the physical body and it's gone to that place of physical illness. It's very hard to heal. I'm not saying that it can't, because I've seen so many miracles where people do, but it's accessing that core emotion, that core memory, in order to bring that healing energy in effect. So it's working with that element of water and earth, because those are the feminine elements, and working with those two are going to help you tap into that feminine energy, that divine feminine energy of being in flow. Okay, we have Atlantis, rapid development, excellence, and success. And Atlantis is kind of what was happening with this what is it, this era of time in the civilization. They were, you know, they were working with technology in a way that's kind of very reflective of society today. And it's a repetitive pattern where we get to a place of technology and then we start to manipulate the earth and the energies, and we start to take things for granted, and we abuse the gift that we have. In Atlantis, they were manipulating DNA, they were cloning, they were crossbreeding animals and humans, they were using destructive means on the planet to create things that would kill the planet, and essentially it did something that was very destructive and did hurt the planet. And anybody who's read some of the stories about Atlantis, it was like the wiping of a civilization to almost start all over again. And so now here we are, we're coming back into that technology age, and are we going to repeat the cycles of the past where we abuse Mother Nature and we turn away from our natural connection to the divine feminine and go straight for, you know, the ego and the masculine, where there's just greed and manipulation and selfishness and imbalance and the lack of care for one another and Mother Earth. Okay, let's see, next we have Coral's wisdom, colony, delicacy, fragility, works that are created over great periods of time. And this has to do with our, you know, your manifestation and nurturing and tending to the soil of this manifestation so that it can have those strong roots to grow. Anytime we're manifesting something in our life, it requires our care, our love, our effort, our intentions, our nurturing. Think of seeds in the soil. Whenever we're planting a garden, we need to tend to the soil, make sure that there's proper nutrients. You know, we need to water it efficiently and make sure that there is enough water, that there's enough heat and sunlight. You know, there's a lot of attention and nurturing that comes into a seed. And the same for your manifestations. It takes you time to nurture, to visualize, to focus on what your heart's desires on, and to go within, one, to even connect to that desire, and then two, to set that intention, that idea, and that focus into into action, which is the divine masculine energy. And when we're in that nurturing phase, when we plant those seeds, we don't see the seed growing under the soil. It's in the darkness. We can't see it. But we know it's there, and we know it's growing. We want to have faith that it's growing. But we can't see it. It's all in divine timing when it's right for that seed to sprout and to grow. And so it's like the bigger the manifestation, the stronger the roots have to be. So yes, you can't see that soil, that seed growing, that manifestation coming to effect yet, because it's not time for it to sprout, to physicalize. But the more you're tending to the soil and you're nurturing it, and it's there and your belief is there, that seed will germinate and grow and bloom. And that it will. And that's where your faith comes in, is knowing that in divine timing this manifestation is going to come in for me. And I can't see it now, but I know it's there, and I've set my heart's intention into this manifestation. And so you have to have that faith, knowing that it's growing, that it will come around and it will physicalize for you. Okay? Remember that the bigger the manifestation, the bigger the dream, the stronger the roots have to be to sustain it. Okay? So it's working under the soil. Even though you can't see it, there's still things that are happening. Okay? We have reflections. What do you contemplate, or what you contemplate can actualize? Can't talk. Let me get a sip of water. Hang on. Yes. So more confirmation of spending time in quiet reflection and contemplation and being receptive and open to receiving your blessings that are coming in for you. Nurturing yourself, protecting yourself from any negativity, from any feelings of guilt or doubt or worry or stress. Put up those protectors, put up your shields to disengage from those types of energies, and have your focus in your mind on your knowing, your inner knowing, your heart's desire is manifesting for you. You might not see it, but it is happening. All right, let's get your final card here. This one I wanted to read from the guide book as well. Alana Fairchild's Journey of Love. So let's see. Number 2, within nothing there is everything. Isn't that amazing? Because that's about the void space. What appears to be, an empty void has all the potential to create anything and everything. So it's all about perception and the ways that we see things, and how to use the energy, to use our magic, and you get higher perspectives and shifts of perspective when you take that time to nurture yourself, to be more in the present moment. Earth's energy slows us down. It helps bring us into perspective. It helps gives us clarity and insight on things, where if we were so busy working and in action and doing things, we don't have the time to see things from a different perspective. We're so busy and focused on other things that, we don't really take the time out to shift our perspective. So that's why it's so imperative to work with this divine feminine energy here. Receptivity. All right, here we go. Within nothing there is everything. From a point of stillness, a moment, a complete universe is opening up to you, endlessly expanding. Your every thought and intention sends ripples of consciousness through the universe. What a creative being you are. You are sending consciousness into motion, bringing your creation into being with every inner desire, with every whispered wish. The universe receives your yearning and aspirations with open arms, returning them to you as manifestation in your life. Woo! What is really in your heart? Open your arms, sigh, speak your heart truth out loud to the loving universe and receive it as your destiny manifesting now. The oracle brings you a message to you that something that you want is on its way to you. It may seem to be coming out of nowhere, no sign on the horizon to give you hope, yet it is coming to you anyway. It is the spiritual law that you cannot be denied the manifestation of your heart's desire. Trust and remain open to the tide of universal love rushing towards you, swelling within you now. Woohoo! What confirmation is that? Pile number 2. Know that this manifestation is coming into you. You just got confirmation it's on its way. You can't see it. There'll be no sign of it. It's just all of a sudden going to go big. What a miracle. That's what we call alignment, synchronicity. Miracles are when things are in just perfect alignment that it just easily manifests. And that's what's coming in for you. When you stay in that receptive feminine energy of receiving, opening up, you're no longer trying, like you've sent your desire out there, you had the idea, you have this wish, and now be in that moment of pause, of receiving the blessings coming in, you know, it's, I've done the work, I've done the giving, now in the receiving mode, and it requires you to slow your energies down so that you can be receptive. Alright, I'm going to get you some final messages from these angels, from the angel cards. Messages for pile number 2 to close out their reading. Messages from the Divine Feminine to help them. We have Rochelle. As you honor and follow the guidance of your heart, prosperity is coming to you now. Woo! Go within, spend time in heart space, okay? Any more messages for pile number 2? Pile number 2. Oh my god. It's about 15. Go with Yvonne. Oh my goodness. You have a special bond with animals. Your pets on earth and in heaven are watched over by angels. We had a card come out in pile number 1 about someone's loved one coming out. And so now in pile 2 we have animals. A favorite pet that has passed on is letting you know, and this is coming from your heart space, that they are being watched over. I feel like they're letting you know that they are okay, that they're still with you, they're still here. And there's a bunch of little kitty cats. Alright, we have Seraphina. I am the angel of families. A happy change or addition is coming your way. Some of you maybe have been asking for, you know, a pregnancy. Take what resonates for you, guys. And for Francesca, what do you desire right now? Visualize it and it will come about. Negativity will block your progress. Alright, so you've already been told that your manifestation is on its way. Like I said, don't succumb to any kind of fear or doubt or worry. Just stay in your center of knowing that it's on its way, and be open and receptive. Tap into that divine feminine energy within your heart space and know that everything you desire is within you and it's on its way to you. Okay? Alright, pile number 2, this was your reading. Thank you so much for being here with me today. Sending you lots of love. If this was your reading, let's leave the peace stub in the comments below. And if you feel like sharing your story, you want to comment below, I'd love to hear from you all. Till then, I will see you next time. Y'all take care and have a blessed day. Hi, pile number 3. This is your reading. You chose Mary Magdalene with the Celestial Aura Quartz. Let me shove this over here. Alright, the Apostle of Apostles. I am the bridge between heaven and earth. I am fully human and fully divine. So what a beautiful master, ascended master to come through, because Mary Magdalene is an ascended master for the divine feminine energy. So very sacred being to come out for this reading. And this is a message about reuniting with the soul within your heart, your higher self connection, becoming who you truly are, your divine self, and actualizing that part of you. So let's see. I pulled your oracle cards before the reading just to save time. So let's see what messages the Divine Feminine has for you. Ooh, we have Pleiades, double mission, channeling and uplifting humanity. So immediately I feel like some of you are star seeds that are in this reading here, and you may be working with Mary Magdalene as an ascended master teacher for you, as well as the Pleiadians. Some of you may originate from the Pleiades, or that could have been one of your previous incarnations before you incarnated here on Earth. The Pleiades are working very closely with a lot of starseeds who are on the planet, helping in the ascension of humanity and planet Earth. Let's see, we have soul family. Woo. Call in your tribe, you don't have to do it alone. And we have some dolphins and whales, so this is a Sirius B energy. Sirius, yeah, I'm not sure about Sirius A, but I do feel Sirius B because it was a water planet as well, where a lot of dolphins and whales and mermaids all live. This is a reconnection to your higher self, to your soul family, your soul origins here. Yeah, I feel like you've come into the realization of who you are and your truth and your power. And I feel like you are here to anchor in the divine feminine energies. That is part of your mission, is to restore the Christ, the feminine Christ energy. And not only just like the feminine, but the Christ consciousness, which involves the feminine Christ as well. Not just the masculine Christ, but the feminine Christ. Ooh, yeah, this one I wanted to read for you guys. Card number 49, because they never have any kind of words to give you any kind of, insight into the card's meaning, other than just the individual image on the card. And here we have what appears to be almost like a phoenix bird, but there's lots of, pea stubs around supporting him. So let's see what messages want to come through from card number 49. We have assistance, help, and support. I felt a tug. You must be at the end of your rope. We have trained and we have studied. We have fallen and picked ourselves up to try yet again. Certainly progress has been made with each effort and each attempt, but sometimes despite it all, we have to acknowledge the reality that we can't do it entirely on our own. In this image, the white doves are visual metaphors for helping hands. The physical support they provide here take the form of emotional encouragement, financial assistance, or expert advice based on knowledge or previous experience. The challenge now is to achieve a balance, to offer help, but not reliance. Ooh! Okay, so you have a lot of support helping you with this bringing in of these divine feminine energies and restoring the feminine energy here onto the planet. And that is part of your mission, is to restore the balance, because Earth is so out of balance. We're so disconnected from the feminine energies, being our ability to receive, to heal, to nurture, to connect to Mother Earth, to have peace of heart, peace of mind, to be able to take time off and enjoy being instead of doing. We're so disconnected from our bodies, from our emotions, from life, from the present moment, from Mother Earth. And you're here, you're being offered support in this. You are not alone in this mission. There's a lot of, your soul family is helping you. The Pleiadians are helping you. There's a lot of star nations that are here on the earth bringing this energy forward. So your guides are wanting you to know this. Your divine feminine is wanting you to know that you are not alone, that you are supported. Okay. We have eternal love, happiness, harmony, and fulfillment. And see, this is the DNA strand where the masculine and the feminine are being woven together. You know, this rainbow light here, and grounding those higher frequencies here onto the planet. And these solar flares that we're receiving are assisting in that energy, the raising of the frequencies here on the planet, as well as within the human collective. That's what's also helping facilitate these energies. And you may be receiving a lot of downloads and information coming in for you right now to awaken you to this part of your mission, to grounding in the balance and restoring those feminine energies here on the planet. Oops. We have peace, dissolving unwanted or disturbing thoughts. Woohoo! Peace of mind. Yeah, when we're tuning into that, our emotional bodies, our heart space, we're coming out of the mind and coming into heart, knowing that we are always protected, we're always guided, we don't need to worry, we don't need to stress, we can release any of this weight, any of that doubt, that burden that we feel like we must carry, you know, carry all the weight on our shoulders. And I can relate to that too, because I do feel like I have to support a lot, even just in my family. Sometimes it can be overwhelming, but you can feel like you have the weight on the the weight of the world on your shoulders sometimes. But it is not a solo mission. You're not here doing this on your own. There's a lot of people in the collective that are doing this, and you can find them in like support groups and stuff. Find things that you're really connected to. Like if you feel a connection to the Pleiades, you can find all different kinds of even Facebook groups and chat groups, things like that. Any kind of social platform forum where you can find like-minded souls who are here with similar missions as you. If this is something that you're just tapping into, your mission and downloading your divine mission of your purpose while you're here. But you are being supported, you are being given lots of love and support and peace and understanding coming in for you right now. And you can even ask your guides, ask your soul family to reveal themselves to you, you know, and you might even do some research on the different star nations, and you might feel a connection to specific ones, you know. And what I find sometimes is that you could have incarnations there in that specific galaxy or constellation, that particular star, in previous lifetimes, and you feel a connection there, but it doesn't necessarily mean that's your soul's origins, you know. You just feel a connection to them because you have existed in incarnations there, and you've learned about their ways of being and doing and loving and caring, and so you have, you know, wisdom and knowledge gained from those specific places. Okay, we have the present, gift, treasure, revelation of my own, revelation of own value, not, oh, the nowness. Being in the present moment is where we have access to our gifts, to manifest, to create, to co-create, to make conscious choices. We have access to so many gifts when we're in the present moment. We have that place of peace and contentment, of being in our heart space, of feeling connected and loved, knowing that we're always being guided, that everything works out for us. It's being in that flow state, that state of surrender, of knowing that everything is unfolding as it should. And if you're meant to be somewhere, you're meant to go somewhere, you're meant to do something, that it's all going to appear according to divine plan, you know. And that is a place of peace that one can have when you reach that attainment and connection to your soul, you know, your higher self, that divinity within. We have complete trust and faith, knowing that you are connected, that you are one with Soul Creator, with Source Creator. We have fertility, potential, powerful creative energy, and initiation energy. Look at that. You have the potential to create when you're in the present moment and you're being offered that gift. You are the bridge between heaven and earth. So you are a channel to bring in these higher frequencies and onto the planet Earth. You have created an alignment with your higher self and you're grounding these spiritual energies here onto the planet. You are a channel. You are a grounding force. You're the bridge, between the spiritual and the physical plane. And so you're being asked to open yourself up to receive these higher frequencies and to anchor them onto Mother Earth, to help uplift humanity and the energies and the frequencies that we're all existing in. Yeah, there's this potential of manifestation as well. There's something that you're here to help create. And it's number 8. This is restoring the balance, the karmic balance here on planet Earth. Your energy is just very fluid here, pile number 3. And I mean, that could be your energy as well. It's just very in touch with that feminine energy and very flowing, very open, very peaceful, very accepting, which makes you perfect for being able to channel these messages, to be able to channel, higher frequencies and to ground them here on the earth and access that place of unity within and anchoring that here onto the planet. Very peaceful. We have intimacy. Yeah, I feel like you have created that balance of the masculine and feminine energies where you, and you'd have to, in order to attain this level of mastery that you have, to be able to connect to the divine within, to achieve that balance. Because I feel like, it's very easy for us to tap into the masculine energy because we've been so out of balance and we've been so masculine driven for centuries. And so it's easy for us to be in a place of action and doing and mind and ego. But it's very hard to tap back into the heart and the body of receiving and flow and faith and feeling and emotions and everything like that. So when we have finally mastered the ego and the ego has surrendered to the feminine, to the heart, to the body, and is now he becomes the protector, the best friend, the supportive ally who is there to remind you and protect you and shield you from, negativity or people who wish to do you harm. He's your confidence builder. He helps you implement your ideas and to bring them forth and to take action when needed. And you've created this beautiful connection within so that you can access your higher self and access these higher frequencies. And it requires you to maintain that balance. Okay. Intimacy. Your vulnerability is the key to your growing spirituality. Now is the time to share yourself openly without pretense or defensiveness. Let down the barriers that have held you apart from another, from the divine, and from the world. Let yourself be held by the experiences of your life without needing to defend against them. Expect nothing and be open to receiving everything. Your vulnerability is your way forward now. You are learning that you have enough strength to truly surrender. You are brave enough to allow yourself to be truly loved by the divine. This message of this oracle is that you have recently opened yourself up in new ways to meet the world and your loved ones, or are considering doing so in order to share something of yourself with another. Do it. You are ready to be seen and received more than ever before. Woo! That's great confirmation. So you are in a new phase of receiving more downloads, more information, more energies, feeling more connected, more tuned in to yourself as well as to divine energies. And to trust and have faith in yourself as well. And to ask for support, ask for your guides to come in to remind you, and to also let go of any fears or any doubts or worries, anything feeling like you're not good enough, you're not worthy enough, or that it's impossible, it's believe in the impossibles. And having that vulnerable connection within and keeping that heart space open to receiving, okay? And a great way to do that is spending time in nature, which I'm sure you do, because I feel like you have such a beautiful connection to Mother Nature, to Source, to yourself, a connection to, the stars, to your guides and everything like that. You get a lot of being asked to have a lot of confidence in yourself and to build up that solar plexus chakra, right? That is healing the divine masculine, because the divine masculine was wounded, as well, just as much as the feminine, the Christ feminine energy has been suppressed and squashed, and the masculine has been distorted as well. And the feeling like he's only, and think about this with some men, they're only good enough if they have all this money, if they look a certain kind of way, they gotta have a six-pack too, and they gotta be driving these fancy cars and have a certain type of lifestyle, and they're not really valued for who they really are as a soul or an individual, or their heart or anything like that. They're only looked at from the outside material things as well. So it's not just the feminine that's been wounded. I mean, she's been completely annihilated, but the masculine's also been wounded too. And so in that journey of healing, we learn to tame the ego, which is our masculine energies. The masculine, what we end up doing is training our ego to become our supportive friend. The ego was the one who took charge when we were younger, when we were children, and we were having emotional, traumas and stress and pain. And so our mind takes over, the masculine takes over, and to protect us from those painful emotions. And so we end up trying to deal with things logically because we don't understand our emotions as children. And then when we get to be older and certain things start repeating, we experience something like this as a child, and now we're an adult experiencing it. Well, the mind takes over and says, hey, it wants to protect us. And so it goes, well, you need to do this, and that person's doing this. And, it tries to guard us and warn us of the same thing happening again, because when we were children, we didn't know how to handle the situation. So the brain kind of starts to override the heart and dictate and tell us what to do. And it gets really, really loud if we don't listen to it. So eventually, when we tame the ego, we tame the mind, and we start listening to the heart then starts to train the ego how to perceive things, how to see things from a different perspective, because we are now maturing our emotional body so that the emotional body understands what it feels and how to process the emotion in a different way from an intellectual, not intellectual, but from a more mature stance. Now it is processing the emotions from an adult perspective versus a child perspective, and it comes with emotional maturity, which a lot of people don't have. So anyways, when we reach that place where we finally have the balance, where the masculine and feminine both are honoring one another for their abilities, for our capabilities that we have, and that both of them are necessary and they both have to work together, but not over talking or overshadowing the other. Both are needed, and that balance is restored within. That is our connection to our soul. There's this intimacy that's created when we've achieved that space. And you have either achieved it already, or you're on the way to achieving that within your own being. And this is part of your mission. All right, pile number 3. I'm going to get you some final words. I'm sorry, I feel like your reading was a little short, but it's just straight to the point and it's very straightforward. But you have this beautiful creative energy to create something new and to help bring in this energy here onto the planet, to restore the balance, to restore the divine feminine energies, to help heal humanity and all those who are here on the planet. So we have Maya. Schooling, studying, and education help your life's purpose and personal growth at this time. The angels will guide you and help you with this process. So you may be being asked to do some research, to study some things, to educate yourself. And it could be just, studying your own energies, studying your mind and your heart, and making sure that they're staying in balance and communication with one another. Not trying to guilt the feminine out of her feelings, or if she's not taking action on something, or she's setting healthy boundaries for herself to protect herself, that we're not guilting ourselves for setting those boundaries. It's accessing that information by spending time within. Any more messages? Pile number 3. Ooh, okay, so we have Indriel. You are a light worker. God needs you to shine your divine light and love like an angel upon the earth and all of its inhabitants. Confirmation for you that you are a light worker. You're a starseed. Well, some of you may be light workers and some of you may be starseeds, because I believe they're 2 different things, or one and the same. It's all in perspective. Isabella, yes, the timing is right for this new venture. A happy outcome follows your positive expectations. Expect positive things. Layla, spend time alone in nature, meditating about your desires and intentions. Ask the angels to help you gain a positive perspective. Make sure that you're taking time to nurture yourself, keeping that feminine energy balanced, okay? We have Azure. Your desired outcome will occur in the very near future. Have patience and faith and don't try to force it to happen. Woohoo! More confirmation to stay in your feminine energy. Pause and wait for divine timing to act. You'll know when to act because things will be in alignment. You will have that energy rush of taking action, or an opportunity will present itself for you, and that's when you'll know now is the time for me to move forward with a desire, with a plan, with an action regarding your manifestation here, because you have something that's coming in for you. We have Chantal. New romance is imminent, either with a newcomer or through reignited passion in your existing relationship. Be open to giving and receiving love. This can be with an individual. It can also be within yourself. Learning how to love yourself, learning what your needs are, learning how to nurture yourself as well. And the more you pour into your own cup, the more you will attract other people who want to pour into your cup as well. And you will find those equal partnerships and right relationships with others as well. That's right. Be open to giving and receiving that equal balance and energy of the masculine and the feminine, and working with both of them, okay? That is anchoring in that Christ consciousness, where it's not gender related. You have to use those 2 energies to anchor in the one, that unity mindedness, the Christ consciousness. It is not a masculine energy, and it's not a feminine energy. It is the unconditional love energy. That's what we're trying to anchor in here. But it requires the masculine and the feminine energies of the physical plane, because that's what Earth is. Earth is a place of duality, of opposites. And so those energies have to be in an alignment and balance, working together in order to create that unity, where we don't see opposites anymore. It just is. All is love. Everything comes from source. So source creates from love. Everything's created from love. And so that's all there is, essentially. Alright, pile number 3, this was your reading. If you resonate with this, leave me a comment below. If you don't feel like leaving a comment, just put like a little heart emoji in the bottom and I'll know that this was your reading. Thank you all for being here. Sending you lots of love. Y'all take care and have a blessed day.